Good morning, guys, and welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about the next form of an equation, and it is point-slope form. And if you have any questions, as always, make sure you leave a comment on the Google Classroom or email myself, Ms. Kirschbaum, or Ms. Gates as we go through this experience. So let's get started. So point-slope form is a little bit different. You're going to be given the slope, and you're going to be given or 2 points to make the slope to determine slope. And at least one ordered pair that you will be labeling x1, y1. Okay, so just today we're just going to get into some practice with writing them out and determining different things from a given equation, okay? So in this first example, we are given this point and a slope of 3. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to write my equation, y minus y1 equals m x minus x1. Right? So now I'm just going to plug in what I need to plug in. So I have 8, 3, which is going to be x1, y1, and my m equals 3. So as I plug this in, I have, I'm going to use black for this actually, y minus y1 equals, oh wait, what did I do? My y1 is 3, y minus 3 equals, I'm going to plug in my m, which is also 3, times x minus x1. Now, it's all done. I can leave it like this. Y minus 3 equals y minus 3 equals 3 times x minus 8. Okay? And that's my equation of this line in point-slope form. Point-slope form. And that's all we have to do. We just have to plug in values to determine our line. And I'm flipping the iPad again. I'm so sorry. Now again, we're doing it in point-slope form. Given the slope, our m, given m, and this point here. So this point is going to become x1, y1. I have y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. And I'm just going to start plugging things in. Y minus negative 1 equals negative 2 times x minus 3. For this one, I have to change things a little bit. Minus a negative becomes y plus 1 equals negative 2 times x minus 3. Okay, and that's all we're doing for this lesson today. We are either writing these in point-slope form, or we are we are looking at a point-slope form of an equation and determining things from it. Okay? So, again, point-slope form. We're given our m, and we're given this point here. I'm going to label that point x1, y1. Write out my equation. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Start plugging things in. Y minus y1 is 0. M is negative 2/3. And my x1 is 4. Now, since this is 0, I can rewrite this as y equals negative 2/3 times x minus 4. Okay? Nice and easy. Next example is showing off our skills. And again, if we were in the regular classroom, I would just let you guys do this on your own, but obviously we are not. So we're just going to do these together. So I'm going to use different colors for each one, x1, y1, and we have our m. So I have y minus negative 2 equals negative 1 times x minus negative 1. I'm going to fix all the negatives. Y plus 2 equals negative 1x times x plus 1. And that is the first equation in slope-intercept form. Okay, now the next one, I'm going to do it in red. I'm going to label x1, y1, and I have my m. So y minus my y1 is 0 equals negative 1/8 times x minus negative 7. I'm going to fix these. Y minus 0 is just y times negative 1/8 x minus negative 7 is x plus 7. And that is my equation in point slope form. 2 more. Oh, there it is. Okay, I have x1, y1, and I'm given my m. Y minus 6 equals 4 times x minus 5. There's nothing I have to fix, so I can just leave it as is. Right? And one more. I'll do you in purple. x1, y1, I'm given my m. So y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. And all I have to do is just fix that. 4/9 times x minus a negative is going to be a plus 3. Okay, so those are just 4 more examples of taking what we're given and putting it into the equation. So now, in this one, we're just given 2 points. Since we're just given 2 points, we have to find our own m using the points. Then we can write the equation one of 2 ways. 2 ways to write it, and I will show you both. Because you can pick either one of these points. Okay? But I'm going to start by solving for the slope. So m is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. I'm going to label x1, y1, x2, y2, and I'm just going to plug those in. Negative 11 minus 4 over 4 minus 9. Negative 11 minus 4, or negative 11 plus negative 4, is negative 15. 4 minus 9 is negative 5. So this can simplify. Negative 15 divided by negative 5 is 3. So my m is 3 to plug in. Now, there are 2 ways we can write this equation. I will show you both. Either one, we're using m equals 3. So I can do y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. I can use my original point. Y minus 4 equals 3 is my m, regardless. X minus 9. There's no fixing anything there. So that is my equation if I use the first point. But if I decided to use the second point, y minus y1 equals m x minus x1, I would have y minus negative 11 equals 3 times x minus 4. So y minus negative, y plus 11 equals 3, x minus 4. I tend to choose the one where I won't have to fix it afterwards. So if I personally did this, I would have done it using the original first point. But you could have done either. which is why I'm showing you both processes, okay? Moving down, again, we have to solve for our m to start. So I'm going to label x1, y1, x2, y2. I don't know why it's not writing right today. So m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, y2 3 minus y1 4 over 4 minus negative 2. This is 3 minus 4 is negative 1. 4 minus negative 2 becomes 4 plus 2 over 6. So my m is negative 1 over 6. And now I can write the equation two ways. And again, I'll show you both. I'll show you both for all of these as we do them, just so you can see each one. So using my original first point, y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Okay, y minus 4 equals negative 1/6 x minus negative 2. And that becomes y minus 4 equals negative 1/6 x plus 2. So for this one, I would have used the second point because I had to redo that. I had to add that extra step that I don't always want to do. I don't always have time to do. So this is what I would do personally. Equals m times x minus x1. So I have y minus 3 equals negative 1/6 x minus 4. Okay, and these are the same. These are both the equations for this line that's going to pass through both of those points. It just takes a little bit of maneuvering to show that it's the same line, and we'll be doing that tomorrow most likely, okay? Now, here we are going to be using what we know about point slope form to identify a point and, sorry about that, and to find the slope. So, knowing that my equation for point slope form is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. I can take that goes with that, that goes with that, and that goes with that. So my point is as so. My slope is as so. So m equals negative 2/3, and my point is x1, 21, y1, 9. Okay, and that's how we use the equation to determine different parts in it. Remember, since the equation has minus y1, if it's minus something, then that's going to be a positive value in your point. If it's plus something, it will be a negative value in your point, and we'll see that in just a second. Okay? Now again, we're going to use point slope form to find a point and to find the slope. So I'm going to rewrite what this is. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. And we're going to go back through and do that weird circling I did before. Okay. So, my slope, the easy part, m equals 3. My point is, since this is plus, that means it was minus and negative. So my x is going to be negative 8, and my y is going to be positive 2. Okay? Don't let the plus sign here and then minus sign here confuse you. It just means it was a negative, so it became instead of minus a negative, it became plus. Okay? 2 more problems. So we're doing the same thing we just did. So due to that, I'm just going to, underneath them, just going to write out my equation. y1 equals mx minus x1. Okay, in the first one, I have these. Okay, so my slope, my m, the easy part, is just 1/3. And my point, well, this is plus 7, and it should be minus x1, so my x1 is going to be negative 7. This is minus 5, it should be minus y1, so it's going to be positive 5. Okay? And in the last problem of the day, we have these that are weirdly circled. Okay, so my slope, again, the easy part, m equals negative 2/5. And my point is, this should be minus x1. Since it's plus, it just means it's negative of whatever that value is, negative 3. This should be minus y1, but since it's plus, it's just negative of whatever's there, negative 1. Okay, hopefully this wasn't too terrible of a lesson and you guys understood where I was going through it. If you have any questions, make sure to leave a comment on the Google Classroom or email myself, Ms. Kirschbaum, or Ms. Gates. Have a